possess it. They get away with 3 on the play clock. Blocked! And this one is going to be back at the 15-yard line and running this one toward the end zone. Donovan Adkins comes up with a big block. Shoemaker, he claps, gets the snap, play fake, throws towards the end zone, looking for Woodard. He's got it! Touchdown, Alphonse Woodard, 8 yards, and the Cats score offensively. Side fakes the give, ball is free, and the Bearcats have it! Steps up in the pocket, he'll take off and run with this one across the 35, and down to the 30-yard line goes Keegan Shoemaker! Pops back, looking to throw, free safety coming in on the blitz, and the ball is free in the end zone! And did the Bearcats land on it? Yes, they did! Touchdown! 3 receivers, one back is Desmond Jackson. He will fake the give to Jackson, rolling to his left. Into the end zone! Caught on the bobble! Noah Smith! And the Cats are in for 6. Shoemaker looking to throw. He has a man open. It's Crest at the 30-yard line. Cuts it back across the 20. He's down to the 15-yard line. Oh, what a catch and run by Cody Crest. He gets it off with 1. Hands it up. Jackson! Touchdown! And we're tied!
Welcome back to the 2023 Conference USA Football Kickoff Show. And next up is the Sam Houston Bearcats. Final record last year in the FCS as they made their transition to the FBS, 5-4, allowing just over 20 points per game, and they scored just under 20 points. The key returners, quarterback, wide receiver, linebacking core, all intact, and they open their season September the 2nd, a tough one at BYU. We're going to welcome in Sam Houston now to our set. Head coach Casey Keeler, quarterback Keegan Shoemaker, and linebacker Trevor Williams. Guys, thank you so much for coming here. All right, so before we get into this upcoming season, you had a very unique philosophy on how you handle 2022. It's a transition year for Sam Houston. How did you enter that season? What was your philosophy?
Yeah, John, there's no time in the history of college football has a team had to transition and also have the transfer portal. And so I thought we had to attack it in a unique way where we let our players know, like, if you have a redshirt year, we're all about trying to help you get that extra year in Conference USA. And Trevor Williams is a great example of a guy who is getting an extra year now. His career would be over if we hadn't redshirted him. So we redshirted about 15 of our best players. And I think it was the hardest thing I've ever done as a college football coach because our mentality is we're all in all the time. Everything's about winning the championship. It never ends. But every day we talk about it. And here we are, playing games with 15 of our best players standing behind me. And so I think culture-wise it was really hard, but I think now that we sit here, look at our roster, we feel we have a lot deeper team than we would have normally had hadn't we done what we did in terms of redshirting, our best players.
Describe that scenario. Obviously, you want to win all those games. The 15 players, what were they doing? How are you still coaching your guys and still having a full season?
Well, it all started during the second playoff run to try winning the national championship. We find out we're moving in Conference USA, and I have that very difficult conversation with our players saying, hey, listen, next year, we're not going to be able to play for anything. And then 2 teams end up dropping us, and we go down to a 9-game schedule. And, some of our players, I lost a great tailback to Kentucky and a great offensive lineman who was all conference in the AAC at Tulane. But those guys didn't have redshirt years. But mostly for all the guys who had redshirt years, they all said, Coach, we want to, stay in the program and do this. So we played them in Texas A&M, and we played them against SFA, big opportunity playing for 100,000 just down the road. And also SFA is obviously this huge rivalry game. And then we picked 2 games early in the season. And then basically they would come out and get their individual time in, and then we put them up in the weight room, getting them prepared for this coming season. So it was a difficult thing to do, but I think now looking at our roster, we feel a lot better where we are than we would normally be transitioning in to FBS.
Let's break down the roster, talking about your offense. How does your offense look coming into the FBS?
Yeah, Keegan comes back, and Keegan's such a warrior, and Keegan's great. We brought another player in to compete with him, and Keegan's like, I'm going to sing for my supper, and that's just the nature of the position I play. And but guy who's taken us down in the last drives of the Battle of the Piney Woods 2 years in a row and won the ball game for us. And just such a steady guy, such a competitor, just a steady force as a leader. And we're bringing back some great wide receivers. I love our offensive line. We redshirted our tight end, who we couldn't afford to do, but again, we just thought it was the best thing to do. So I think we have a pretty solid unit coming back. And I love Keegan's ability to take control of the offense and run. This summer he's been running the practices and he's taking on that leadership ability. So I think we have a chance to score a bunch of points.
It's your 10th season coming in here as head coach. How would you describe this offense to someone who's never seen you guys play?
Yeah, we were at one time, we were very much an up-tempo, no huddle, very air raidish, and we actually led the country in scoring, I think, 4 out of 5 years. And I changed everything because I just didn't think we could win a national championship that way. I thought we had to have a little bit more scheme. I thought we had to use a little bit more motion with different personnel groups. So you see a team that will play with tempo at times. You'll see a team that will give you a lot of different formations and motions and shifts. A team that will try to take advantage of personnel matchups. Yeah, I mean, we've evolved dramatically since the first day I got here.
Defensively, with players that you've now redshirted, how do you guys look coming back?
Yeah, it's interesting. We redshirted the 3 of the best linebackers that maybe I've ever coached, and all of a sudden we have a former safety bump down play linebacker, and he's Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, and he's up for the Buck Buchanan Award. So I think we created a lot of depth because we did redshirt so many guys. Trevor Williams is, one of the best football players I've ever coached. Any team I've ever coached in my career, he would be one of my starters. So, he comes back. I think it's his 4th or 5th or 6th year as captain. 4th year as captain. This is his 4th year as captain. So you get great leadership there. Markel Perry comes back. Markel Perry had 4 tackles for a loss against A&M. So here's a guy who's a dominant player that, again, we got a chance to redshirt him and bring him back. He's a kind of a jack linebacker, defensive end. We have a bunch of guys back in the secondary, so we should be pretty stout defensively. Again, we really like the roster, and we have a very competitive schedule. But again, we're just going to take it one day at a time.
With that linebacking core being so good, does that favor stopping the run versus the pass? Do you feel like you're a balanced defense?
Well, I think what it does is it gives us a lot of options in terms of going 3-man line, 4-man line. I think we can do a lot of things that we haven't shown on tape before because we have a lot of depth at the linebacker spot, and we can do a lot of different things with those guys. So, we're all about stopping the run. If you can't stop the run, it's going to be a long day. And let's stop the run first, and then we kind of move from there.
All right, since we're talking about defense, we got to go to Trevor Williams as a linebacker. Take us back when Coach went to you and talked to you about that redshirt decision. What was that conversation like, and how did you come to the decision to redshirt?
Yeah, it was kind of at first. I was a little shocked and surprised at first, but I mean, like I said, it was as he was talking to me, it was more so of an opportunity. I kind of he told me just to think about it, give myself some time to think about it and process it or whatever. But the more I thought about it, the more I saw it as an opportunity to continue to propel the school to another level. Playing FBS football. Like I said, I just saw it as a great opportunity, and I was excited when I finally came to that decision to redshirt.
How long did it take you to come to that decision?
I would probably say pretty much leading right up to right before that deadline in terms of playing like the 4th or 5th game before redshirting. So right before then, but probably like a week or 2 before that, I kind of knew what I wanted to do for sure.
Being a part of that linebacking unit that is so stout, so incredible, how do you guys help push each other?
I think what's good about it is that we kind of feed off the energy of each other. I think kind of create some competition, but at the same time, we all learn from each other. We understand. Just how football works, and understand that whoever's in, they're going to give their all and best of the team. For our defense, our core values are swarm and compete. So whoever's out there, they're going to swarm and compete. Swarm is relentless effort for 4 to 6 seconds from point A to point B, and compete is simply be the best you. So whoever's out there, we're going to swarm and we're going to compete, and that's what it is at the end of the day.
Sam Houston, you guys get a unique opportunity to live every children's dream, right? You're a little kid. You want to play the best of the best.
Right.
You now move up to FBS to play in Conference USA. How excited are you for this opportunity?
Oh my gosh! Like I said, this is something I've always wanted. My goal, coming into college football was, to play FBS football. That's where it all is in terms of college football. So getting this opportunity and actually being able to play and see it come to fruition now and having it be a possibility, it's awesome. And I'm so excited, and like I said, I'm just blessed and thankful for the opportunity.
Does the offseason change at all, knowing you're going to have to play a full FBS schedule, bigger, stronger, faster guys?
Yeah, I would say just in general, I think every season, it's always the goal to get bigger, stronger, faster. But you understand, playing FBS football, it's another level, so everybody kind of has to take that step up and really make sure we progress in terms of what we're doing. So everything in terms of getting bigger, stronger, faster, kind of have to take it to a new level and a new mindset also.
Nice. I'm excited to see that linebacking course.
Oh, yeah,
you guys fly
sure.
around with the ball. All right, a little offense. Keegan Shoemaker, your senior quarterback with the nice stash. I like the look. Quarterback competition.
Yep.
It's an open competition. How have you handled that this offseason?
You know, I kind of treat it as an open competition every single year. You know, it's an opportunity to get better with, you know, the other guys in the quarterback room and build some rapport with the team. And so I honestly appreciate Coach Keeler, you know, bringing someone in, you know, allowing us to compete and get better and just improve as a whole offense.
How would you describe your game? What are your strongest attributes?
I say I'm pretty balanced, but, you know, our offense makes it easy. You know, Coach Korn, he's going to allow us to make opportunities and make plays, and so just really looking forward to this season.
All right, we take a look at some of the highlights here from your season. Walk us through your offense and just what you enjoy the most about being the quarterback.
The relationship with the guys, definitely. They definitely make it easier on us at quarterback, making plays, making big plays, you know, O-line, pass pro, it's just really the relationships.
What was your favorite throw? If you could go to the playbook, is there a throw where it's third down, you got to get that first down, you're like, I know I can get it with this throw?
No specific one. Whatever one's going to be open.
Okay. Sam Houston, what is it like to be a student there? Introduce me to the university. Tell me all about it.
You know, people around campus are awesome. You know, everyone's looking to make friends, and, you know, everyone's super friendly. And there's a lot of opportunities, you know, for whatever you want to do at Sam. So,
Conference USA now, you have a unique opportunity midweek in October. We don't have a name for it yet. We're going to figure out what we're going to call this. But you'll be on national TV for every single game in October. What do you want to show the national audience?
You know, the culture of our team. You know, we had to persevere through last year knowing that we weren't playing for anything. But, you know, that really built our culture and got us to where we need to be for this season.
Sam Houston culture, define that. What does that mean?
I mean, we're in this thing together, you know, and, you know, it's built on love and trust. And we always say that you can't trust somebody unless you know somebody. You can't love somebody unless you know somebody. So we spend a lot of time, you know, interacting. Like every Wednesday we cook out with the fellas. And, you know, you look at the pictures after the day's done, and you see, you know, older guys with younger guys and different positions together, white guys, black guys. I mean, it's just, like, we do a lot of things that we interact with each other. You know, I'll take two coaches, an offensive coach and defensive coach, and they'll teach a chapter on a book, maybe like Make Your Bed, the 10 things I learned as a Navy SEAL. And they'll do that for a, you know, 10-day period. Well, at the end of the 10 days, every single coach has had a chance to work with every single player. So we're very much in a lot of crossover, and when we're on the plane or in the hotel or on the sideline, you know, we all know each other and we all believe in each other. You don't come back from 21 points versus James Madison to win in a game that's going to send you to the national championship. You don't go down and score with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the national championship game and convert 2 fourth downs to win a national championship unless you have a culture that they believe in each other. And I can remember those games where there's no panic. It's just like, we've got to keep on playing. You know, we believe in each other. So, you know, we're very much a culture team. We believe culture wins, and that's something we're going to lean on going into a very difficult schedule.
I see you guys wearing the bling. Can you hold up that national championship ring? What does that feel like to wear? Because that looks like it's got some weight to it.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. But it just kind of brings all back to the memories and the things that we went through during that game, and just to see it and kind of remember and reflect on what we did during that whole season. It's an amazing feeling. I'm so thankful for it, honestly.
Was there a moment that you look back to and you're like, this kind of summed up our season?
I just say just the culmination of the season. You know, just the playoffs and just all the games that, you know, that we went through. But that playoff run, I would say, is definitely a core memory, and that national championship is something I will never forget.
Well, the ring has a silhouette of a player walking to practice with their helmet and shoulder pads. Because what a lot of people don't understand, we didn't have a locker room. Not only were we going through COVID, we were redoing our facility. And so when I sat with our athletic director, Bobby Williams, he goes, hey, you know, I know you want to play in the spring because there's a national championship there, but just be aware, you don't have a locker room. Our players did their own laundry. You're asking 18 through 22-year-olds to do their own laundry. I mean, our kids walked to practice with the helmet and shoulder pads. They had to take their helmet and shoulder pads home. We had no place to store it. So we went through so many obstacles, and so we developed this mentality. Every obstacle is an opportunity. And the opportunity, not having a locker room, was actually to grow even closer together because of how we handled it. But yeah, the ring has a lot of special little features on it that, as a player, as a coach, the things we went through, it means a lot.
Now, coming out of that national championship, you now have a locker room, you have a field house, you've upgraded the facilities. How are you guys positioned to now enter Conference USA?
I like where we're at. Like I said, I think making that tough decision to redshirt the players, and the way we did it was this, is I brought Trevor Williams and I said, listen, you've had an amazing career here. You deserve the right to leave how you want to leave. You want to leave this season? Let's go. If you want to take a redshirt, that's fine too. I mean, I'm going to give every opportunity to every single, veteran player to do that. And that's what we did, and a lot of those guys took those opportunities to take the red shirt because they got so excited about what we think Conference USA is going to be. And I think we're all glad we did it.
Want to take a look at the schedule?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go. All right, let's put the schedule up on the screen. Coach, I'm going to have you walk me through the entire schedule starting at BYU. What a tough test.
Well, first of all, what you have to understand, when we go to training camp August 1st and we open up that player manual, when they see the schedule, they'll see one game on there, and they'll see BYU. Because the whole mentality we have is we playing one game. We're playing BYU. If we have a game after that, we'll figure it out. So we'll look at it here, but when our players get into training camp August 1st, it's going to be all about playing BYU and nothing else really matters. But obviously, you have a great opponent in the Air Force who, took care of Baylor in a bowl game about 6 months ago. And then you have University of Houston, another Power 5 team. So we're playing two Power 5s within a 3-week period. And then we'll go a short week to Jacksonville State. And obviously they had a great season last year. Rich Rodriguez is a phenomenal football coach. I'm sure they're going to be up and running. The one thing we do like is there's going to be probably some carryover between Houston and Jacksonville in terms of offensively. So hopefully, even though we have a very short week, we'll have a little bit of a preparation there. Liberty, look at the things that they've done over the last 4 or 5 years. New Mexico State's coming off a bowl victory. FIU, they're going to keep on getting better down there with all the great talent in Florida. UTEP is really going to become a rival game. We're actually talking about doing that game eventually at a neutral site because I know they would love to come into Houston and recruit Houston like they do already, and then we would love to be 45 minutes down the road and not have to travel to El Paso every other year. So that's a game we're talking about. Kennesaw, we played in the playoffs a couple years back, and we know what they can bring. They're an amazing market. Georgia football is a little bit like Texas football. And so we know what they're going to be coming. Louisiana Tech is just going to keep on getting better and better. Sonny does a great job, and we know we recruit against those guys. Probably it's our only drive in terms of being able to play a team. Everything else is a flight for us. That's going to quickly become a rivalry also. Western Kentucky. The things that they've done in recent history, and then Middle Tennessee finishing off with them. So, yeah, but that's when you look at that schedule, you can't get ahead of yourself. That's why it's all about just playing BYU, and that's the mentality we have to have. But night game, I think it's at 8:15 at night. Who plays at 8:15 at night? But I guess BYU does. So we're excited to start our season off that way, and I know our kids are going to be, and our kids fear nothing. It's just that's who they are. They fear nothing. And going into a hostile environment like that with an amazing crowd, they're just going to eat it up and love it.
Tell me about that player manual. How thick is that book? What exactly are you putting in there?
We keep things pretty simple. We keep things pretty simple.
I see Trevor smiling.
But we it's about our culture, and we talk about just how we treat people and how we treat each other. And I always start off, at least I'll in recent history. I'll talk about in the very first meeting, one of the first things I'll say is, I'm proud about so many things with this program. But the thing I might be the most proud is how we bring the new players in. We don't keep you at arm's length. We embrace you. If it's the freshmen and we have a big brother set up for them, if it's the transfers, and I'll introduce the transfers in kind of a comical way, we embrace those guys. And so we're very unique where we've made a real concerted effort that we know that, this is the core of the team, but those new guys coming in, we need them. If we want to win, if we want to be the best team we can be, we need them. So a lot of our training camp and a lot of that manual's about taking care of those new guys and making sure that they feel at home. Hey, you guys were freshmen at one time, 4 or 5 years ago. For Trevor, 6 years ago or 7 years ago, or maybe not. I don't know however long it was. So like our entire position group will be at the dorm or at the apartment when those guys move in, making sure they meet the parents and making sure that we got them. So again, we do a lot of things that are involved in culture, and that player manual is about culture.
You smiled when I mentioned that player manual.
Yeah. It's just understanding what we go through in terms of fall camp and stuff. He make sure we know what we're doing throughout fall camp, and he has standards and reminds us of those standards. But just going through the player man, just kind of let know of the new guys what they need to do. The transfers in, how we do things. But I think also that's part of off season how we do things. But that's just kind of what comes in at the end of fall camp, though.
Excited to see you guys play. Casey Keeler, head coach, entering your 10th season at Sam Houston, first year in Conference USA. Good luck this season.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.